Hello everybody and welcome back to the Online Rice Podcast. Today we're going to be interviewing varsity head coach Greg Geary. Alright Greg Geary, so first question for you, how's your day going?
It's going great. It's Friday, ready to go for the weekend?
I'm ready to go home, that's for sure. So I got a couple questions for you about your preseason baseball and how that's going.
Yeah.
So my first question I have for you is how have you and your players been getting ready for this season?
Well, it's been going really well. We've got about around between 50 and 60 guys every day. We lift on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday with 9th through 12th grade, and then on Wednesday it's just our returning players that were in our program last year. We've been doing this kind of water bag circuit that we do. It's a type of training where it focuses a lot on the core, but that's been going great. Mondays and Friday mornings we hit, Wednesday mornings we hit, Mondays and Fridays our pitchers are starting to throw now. So
now is it hard to hit with the field with the snow on the field?
Well, we hit inside. This time of year we actually hit in the South Gym, which is the first time we've done that this year. This is the first year we've ever done that in the South Gym. We're using kind of an indoor ball, and so our hitters can kind of see ball flight, which has been nice for them off the bat. But that's new this year, and I think our boys have really enjoyed it.
Well, looks like they're getting ready.
Yeah, getting ready to go.
How did you feel about last season with your 300th win? Did you celebrate at all?
You know, to be honest with you, I knew that it was coming up, but I didn't really know. I wouldn't really pay much attention to it till after the game. Some of the guys came up and they had the game ball, which was kind of nice. But no, I didn't really celebrate it. I think I've got it somewhere at home, sitting on a shelf somewhere. But yeah, it's a great honor. I mean, it's a tribute to the great players that we've had. Not so much myself, but we've had a lot of good kids over the years, a lot of great assistant coaches.
Well, 300 is a big number, especially for wins. And how long have you been coaching again?
This is my 26th year. Now that's my time at Millard South, but I took over the head job in 2011. So what's that, 12 years, 13 years I've been the head coach. Summer Legion, I took over the head job in 2009. So yeah.
For a while you've been around.
Yep.
So does this season feel any different, including some of your big name guys, like for example, Cam Posel?
Yeah. Obviously you lose a guy like Cam. You know, he had probably a bigger impact on Millard South baseball more than maybe any kid that we've ever had come through here. Fortunately, we've got a good group of our senior class is relatively small, but there's really good leaders in that group. And we've got some very, very talented juniors and sophomores that will be coming up this year. They're really going to be great contributors. So we're excited. It's going to be a fun team to watch, I think.
I think you guys will be good for a while. Hope at least.
Hope so, yeah.
So,
are there any big games that you're excited for and going to get extra prepared to play them?
We got a tough schedule. I mean, we start, I think, our first 5 or 6 games. I think 5 of the 6 games are all ranked teams, and teams will be ranked in the top 10. So we're going to find out pretty quick what we're made of. It's going to be a tough schedule. Obviously, I think our players, we always look forward to playing the rivalry games, Millard West, Millard North, and those are always exciting games to play in. The kids get extra hype for those games. They love, competing against those really good teams. So those are a couple games that our kids always get extra geared up for.
I always enjoy watching those games.
Yep, those are fun.
So, are there any goals that you want to accomplish yourself or as a team this season?
I don't really have any goals for myself other than just every year I think as a coach you try to change some things up, do some things differently. Obviously we've had some good success the last I'd say 10 years. We've had some really good teams, but I think just always at the end of the year we always try to sit down and look at ways that we can improve as coaches. you know, as far as our team, our end goal is always to compete for a state championship. That's our goal year in and year out. I think this year we're going to be really young, so it might take us a little bit of time for some of those younger kids to catch up to the speed of the game at that level. But I think in the end, I think you know, this group's got a group of guys that's highly competitive, so I'm excited to watch them go out and compete.
All right.
Okay, so the season's getting close. Are there any nerves building up? And when you get those first game nerves, how do you deal with those?
I don't, you know, any game you always have a little bit of nervous energy, and I think that's normal. But I think that, you know, like we tell our guys, we just stick to our process, what we do every day, and so that they're so used to doing this day in and day out that they go out and they compete and they play. You know, and that's, you know, at the end of the day, I always tell people when I don't have that nervous feeling in me, then I know it's probably time for me to shut it down, because that's part of competing and coaching, is just that excitement you get, you know, for each game. And, but you have to be able to learn how to deal with, you know, the pressures, especially when you get into a state tournament and a state championship game. Because I don't care what anybody says, it is a different atmosphere, it's a different feel. So being able to deal with those things and just, like I said, go back to what you've always done and trust in what the process of what got you to that point, I think is critical.
I was always told that being nervous is a good thing.
Yeah. I think as long as you know how to deal with it in the right way, I think it creates a heightened awareness as a player and as a coach, that it makes you a little bit more sharp. As long as you deal with it the right way. Sometimes, you know, players will get almost too amped up, too hyped up, and they go crazy in the dugout. And you got to remind them, hey, just, you know, we try to play at an even keel all the time, not too high, not too low. Play with good energy, but not so high that you know, you get so amped up that if something bad goes wrong, boom, the crash is pretty severe. So we try to tell our guys stay at an even keel and keep that going throughout the entire game.
Okay, so one last question for you.
Yeah.
And are there any head coaches that you've ever played that you are always excited to play and battle out?
Well, it's similar to the players. I mean, anytime we play, you know, Millard West, Coach Steve Fry, whether he and I are actually really good friends, but, you know, we love to compete against each other. You know, we're good friends off the field, but once you enter the gates and you're into the game, you know, we both are equally competitive. But outside of the field, I'm really good friends with a lot of coaches around the metro. You know, Coach Lynham over at Millard South has been a good friend of mine for years. We always have great battles with them. But I think that's what makes it special, that coaching kind of fraternity that you have. Once you've done this long enough, you get to know so many different head coaches that I think there's always that mutual respect, even though we want to beat each other's brains out when we play each other. When the game's over, you go back and we're good friends off the field.
Okay, respect. That's good.
Yep.
All right, so that's the only question I have for you, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's been great. I thought you were going to ask me who my favorite nephew was, but I got out of that one easy, huh?